Coming up in this episode, will this challenger manage to stride his way to victory, or does he stumble and fall? Can this player create a fate for himself, or is it hasta la vista, baby? And who in this power couple will get a home run, and who will strike out? Welcome to the GamesMaster Retrospective, where we take a nostalgic nosedive through episodic exploration into the series that showcase the best and worst of gaming's golden era. Dom is giving us some proper waffle at the start of this episode, but that doesn't stop him from making some very questionable comments that make a few more dings on the Dominik innuendo counter.
The kind of show that your mother warned you about and your granny kept under a favourite chair next to a mint humbugs. Games reviews, tips and challenges, and a lovely little souffle recipe from my Auntie Marisha all add up to a piping hot show delivered warm into your inviting lap. Now, for the first of our game-playing challenges, let's go over to a man who's had my Auntie's souffle and come back for more, the GamesMaster.
Welcome to my kingdom, where games are generated and challenges conceived. I'm so pleased you've been able to join me once again. The first of my little challenges this week involves a decidedly feisty young superhero by the name of Strider.
Wait, I've got to talk about Strider for a third time. I'm not sure what else there is to say. The franchise really isn't that deep. Okay, let me check my notes here. So, we've gone over the fact that it was released in 1989 by Capcom on pretty much every platform available at the time. We've also mentioned that the NES version was a completely separate game based off the Strider Hiryu manga. Strider 2 was released in 1990 by US Gold on another plethora of platforms. Not to be confused with Strider 2 released in 1999 by Capcom on the PlayStation. There was a reboot in 2014 by Double Helix Games that was generally well received. Oh, and Hiryu was featured in multiple Capcom Versus titles over the years as well. Nope, doesn't look like I've got anything to talk about this time. Sorry everyone.
You have 3 minutes to guide him to the Russian city of Kazafu and to defeat the city's final guardian, a gargantuan metallic reptile. The forces of good are depending on you. Try not to let them down.
Back again with us in the commentator's pulpit is Neil West from Sega Power. Welcome back, Neil.
Hi, Dominic.
Our first challenger is Chevron Hart from Harrow, walking with determination to the stage and just exuding confidence.
Welcome to GamesMaster, Chevron. Now, I think this challenge is pretty much impossible. Are you confident?
Yep.
Well, I have my doubts, Chevron, but I wish you all the best. If you'd like to plump yourself in our games playing chair, we'll get ready to begin.
Chevron is running and gunning straight away, dispatching straggling enemies with ease.
Okay, these first few baddies are really no problem. He can just flex his arm. He's got this lightsaber, which is very, very helpful. He mustn't waste too much time kicking people from behind. Time limit's very, very strict, so he just must concentrate on...
Lovely double somersault there. That scores 10 points from the Finland judge.
He's clearly familiar with the level, sprinting along with barely a pause. He reaches the first mini-boss in no time and proceeds to stamp him into the dirt.
Okay.
Oh my word, Charles Atlas here. How's he going to do it?
And now down to the first boss. There's a definite method to this, and he's got it.
Oh,
you wait under there, and you just hammer him.
Okay, well that's... We're coming up to 1 minute gone. He's got 3 minutes to do this challenge.
He's doing very well indeed.
Having picked up the 2 droids he's looking for, he's able to march along at a fair pace. Some screen-juddering acrobatics bring him to another mini-boss, which is also a walkover for him.
Okay.
Now, where are we now?
Right, he must crouch down, and he's got it.
Oh, is there some kind of laser defense system?
That's right. Guarding the catacombs underneath. There you go, he's made it.
Oh, yes. What a smooth piece of
That
play.
is a very, very clever move indeed. He took out the laser beam while he was falling. Very, very useful.
Okay, and that's 2 minutes now. He's got 1 minute left.
One quick stroll later, and Chevron is facing down the final boss, which he literally dispatches within seconds.
Now he's got...
Oh my word, they're all jumping together.
Here we go.
What are they doing?
Here we go. This is a caterpillar with its brandishing its...
Oh my word, and he's got him already.
It's gone. No problems whatsoever.
45 seconds to spare. Chevron makes short work of that.
Chevron is humble in his victory and proudly strides away with a golden joystick.
After the rather frivolous antics of the previous challenge, I've come for a little puzzle from the game Terminator 2.
Terminator 2 Judgment Day was released in 1991 by Dementia on the Amiga, Amstrad, Atari ST, Commodore 64, and DOS. Not to be confused with Terminator 2 Judgment Day by Bit Studios that was released for the Game Boy, or Terminator 2 Judgment Day by Software Creations that was released for the Game Gear, Master System, and NES, or Terminator 2 Judgment Day, also by Bit Studios, that was released in 1993 for the Mega Drive and SNES. Based off of the groundbreaking movie of the same name, the game blended driving and shooting action to mirror the film's action sequences. Unlike the SNES and Mega Drive's side-scrolling takes, the Amiga version used digitized sprites and isometric stages for cinematic flair. Though criticized for stiff controls and repetitive gameplay, its ambitious mix of genres and gritty aesthetic generally got a thumbs up, even if the multiple versions of the title were as unnecessary as some of the later films in the franchise.
You have 100 seconds in which to reassemble the robot's scrambled face. If you succeed, the face will smile. Let's hope it'll be no problemo for you.
And joining me in the pulpit again is Tom Watson from Renegade. Hello again, Tom.
Hello again, Dominic.
Our next challenger is Martin Mathers, who is picked randomly from the audience when he's the only person with his hand up. Well then, time to draw the curtains for another exciting edition of Is This Person a Plant? And the answer is yes and no. Martin isn't on the staff, but he does have an interesting backstory. You see, Martin attended the show on the same day as Alex Very from episode 2, as they were best friends and had bunked off school for the day after being accepted as contestants. Just like Alex, Martin went on to be a videator in Games World, playing 2 characters, the aristocratic Mr. Mathers, the megabyte millionaire in Season 2 and 3, and the tally-ho jungle explorer Lord Leslie Mathers in Series 4. So, to have gone into such great things based off of this segment of GamesMaster, he must have done extremely well in this challenge, right? Right? I personally hate these sliding tile puzzles, and I'd rather have a T800 remove my organs in alphabetical order than try and solve one on national TV. The crowd is silent for the majority of the challenge, presumably not to break his concentration.
He's got 65 seconds left, so he seems to be doing okay. They seem to be forming into a sequence.
Right, that's good.
The eye's going into place now. He's getting the flesh areas together. You can see a part of the nose. So there, that drops into place. Yeah, I think he's...
As the timer ticks down though, Martin appears to get stuck in a loop of moving the same tiles around over and over, and it's not long before his challenge is terminated.
Yes, he's working down the bridge of the nose now. He really needs to get that central forehead piece into position. He's trying it at 7 seconds.
Okay, 6, 5, 4, 3, he's not going to make it through. 1, oh, and he's just out of time there.
Martin has said that the producers asked him to lose the challenge, but he managed to mess it up on his own anyway. Don't worry though, we'll be seeing more of Martin much later in his retrospective.
This week, hold on tight and try not to eject as we look at flight simulations. First up, on the Amiga, get high as a kite with Birds of Prey.
Now, Birds of Prey is really sort of the Ferrari of flight sims. I mean, you're looking at something which is so horrendously complicated that you're quite chuffed you can actually get out of the hangar and take off.
If you're sort of more of a train spotter sort of flight sim fan, then who wants everything to be accurate, you'll love it.
Birds of Prey was released in 1991 by Argonaut Software for the Amiga and DOS. Players could fly up to 40 different planes in a fictional battle between the Soviet Union and NATO allied forces, balancing speed and weaponry to outmaneuver foes. Reviews were mixed upon release, Amiga Action saying it was the most thorough flight sim of the time, while Computer Gaming World called it bland with no personality. Relegated to a footnote in flight sim history, this is one Bird of Prey that ended up with its wings clipped.
Next up on the Mega Drive, pick out those bogies with a Sidewinder or two in F-22 Interceptor.
Loads and loads of hours of play there. Brilliant stuff. Great graphics, great sound.
On F-22, I just felt a little bit detached, a little bit removed. Maybe the colour's just a bit too bright, I'm not sure. Something looked console about it and not a simulation.
Finally, on the Amiga, Pip Pip Tally-Ho waxed that moustache and chalks away in the World War I simulation Knights of the Sky.
Knights of the Sky is good simply because it takes you back to the basics of seat-of-the-pants flying, as it was World War I style.
The only drawback to Knights of the Sky is your enemy is a bit crap, really. I mean, one shot and they go down in loads of flames.
Now for our new game section. A game that's bound to get flight simulation fans rubbing their helmets with glee when it's released later this year is ATAC. Julia Coombs from Microprose Software gives us a sneak preview.
ATAC is set in the year 2001.
2001? Are you sure about that?
It's in Colombia. You assume the role of Supreme Commander of a US government-controlled undercover agency. There are no set missions in ATAC. There's just one overall objective, and that is to bankrupt the drug barons of Colombia.
ATAC, The Secret War Against Drugs, was released in 1992 by Microprose on DOS. The game combines flight and strategy simulators, in which the player is part of a secret military unit tasked with taking down Colombian drug lords. Critics found its split gameplay styles to be an issue, with the strategy sections being merely adequate and the air combat shallow when compared to Microprose's classics like F-15 Strike Eagle. While a bold attempt at combining two distinct genres, gamers unfortunately just said no to this particular title.
As you probably noticed by now, I'm rather partial to a bit of sport. Mens sana in corpore sano, as they say. I thought I'd opt for a rather quirky new sport called baseball.
Baseball Stars Professional was released in 1990 on the Neo Geo. The game was a trailblazing sports sim that combined arcade flair with deep team customization. Players could create clubs, tweak stats, and even name fictional players. Quite the novelty at the time. Though overshadowed by SNK's fighters, the title set the standard for baseball games at the time with silky smooth animations provided by Neo Geo's arcade-grade hardware, and is still considered a home run by the platform's sports enthusiasts.
If you don't know the rules, it's rather like our rounders. Contestants will have 1 innings each in which to score as many runs as possible. An innings is over when 3 batsmen are out. So keep your eye on the ball and give it your best shot.
With me in the commentating box is Tim Boone from Computer and Video Games Magazine. Tim, welcome to the ballpark.
Hi, Dominic.
Our celebrity challengers this episode are husband and wife duo Pat and Emily Cash. Pat Cash is an Australian tennis icon, known for winning Wimbledon in 1987 with his fierce serve and volley style, and instantly recognisable with his trademark black and white checked headband. He married Emily in 1990, however they have since divorced in 2002. To this day, Pat is still popping up in celebrity-centric programmes, and supports several charities as an ambassador, which he documents on his YouTube channel. A Davis Cup hero and Hall of Famer, Cash remains a symbol of 80s tennis grit and charisma, both for his game and his off-court persona.
Now, Emily, if I could start with you, you're obviously the pre-match favourite. Are you going to crush Pat into the ground tonight?
Pulverise them.
Oh, yeah. That's good to see. Now, Pat, you're a pretty big hitter on the court. Are we going to see that converted into a lot of home runs?
Well, I hope so. I mean, I've got a good eye for it, but you know, she's a terrific pitcher, so I don't know. I might have to win her with my pitching. I'm not sure.
So, what do you do when you have a world-class tennis player on the show? You make them play baseball, obviously. Also, Dom introduced Emily as World Neo Geo Baseball Champion, but I can't find any evidence to back that up, so that might have been a bit of a lie.
To Pat, he's going to start off with a nice strong pitcher, I feel, and it's, a nice little sneaky pinch there from Pat. It's not going to be enough, he's out.
Pat loses a player at the first pitch, but follows up his second hitter making it out to first base. After a strike, he's able to deftly slide into second base without any pushback. And with a mighty swing of his bat, he's able to travel south to third base before trying his luck and sliding into home plate.
And a save on. Oh, and he's running for home. Pat Cash is running for home. And he's going to get there. 1-1 to Pat Cash.
Great play from Pat. Great play.
Pat is in a very good position with 2 men ready to go at any moment, and another good hit leaves him with all of his bases loaded, while it looks like Emily may have fumbled the ball a little bit in her excitement.
Oh, but in fact, Pat is safe there. Big fielding error from Emily.
Pat strikes out twice more before managing to slam it home again, bringing another player to completion and putting 2 notches on his scoreboard.
Swings again, Pat hits it again. The bases are loaded. He's coming in for another home run here. And this is looking, my goodness, but what a he could be getting a second. His man's running for a second. Will Emily get it to home base first of all? I think she's chosen the wrong base. She has indeed. Pat Cash, 4-0 against Emily.
After another man out and raising his body count to 5, Pat swaps positions with Emily. Will she be able to score as well as her husband, or will she be finishing second?
Emily's got her work cut out.
So Pat pitches in Emily, the first pitch in there. Emily hits it, ground run for 1, but I think she's going to be out there. 1 out to Pat.
Things don't start well for Emily, with a ground ball prematurely ejecting her first hitter, and her second man is not able to perform particularly well either. Things aren't looking hopeful for a happy ending for her.
So it's up to Orchid of the Wildflowers here. Very, very nervous times here in the GamesMaster ballpark. Emily, nice little pinch run, but it's going to be better. Oh, a fielding error by Pat there lets Emily get the first
I think
base.
I feel it's gone short-sighted somehow.
More limp swings produce more disappointing performances. However, Pat clearly isn't very good at receiving, as he doesn't seem to know what to do with it after he gets it in his hands. Emily gets off a good hit, but makes a major error when she tries to fit two men into the same slot, and the contest ends with her not being able to bring a single person home. Bit of a poor performance for the World Neo Geo Baseball Champion, huh?
And two runners running to the same base. Pat tagged one of them, so it's the end of the ball game. Pat is the winner.
Dominik manages to pitch a quick innuendo in right at the end though. It's always a home run with this guy.
Emily, commiserations. You started off pitching like a dream, but then Pat started banging you all over the ballpark. What went wrong?
Well, I think my girls, they couldn't keep their eye on the ball. I think they had their eyes on the other team.
Ultimately, Pat knocked it out of the park and walks away with a golden joystick.
Hello, GamesMaster.
Welcome to my kingdom. I am delighted to see you. And what have you got to ask me?
I've been playing the game Link for several months now, and I found a hidden town, but I cannot find a magic key. Do you know where it is, please?
Zelda 2, The Adventure of Link, was released in 1988 by Nintendo for the NES. Players explored towns for clues, spoke with oddly named NPCs, and battled through grim dungeons in a quest to awaken Princess Zelda. Taking a surprisingly bold detour from its predecessor, it blended side-scrolling combat with RPG mechanics like XP leveling and magic spells, something the franchise has never attempted in the years since. Divisive at the time for its difficulty and shift from pure top-down perspective, fans are more accepting of the slightly quirky title these days, living a legacy as the black sheep of a very large flock.
Do I indeed, you audacious young urchin? Once you reach the hidden town, pick up the spell, and then cast it at the far right of the town. That will make a door appear. Inside that door, you'll find the magic key.
Thank you.
Who's next, please?
Hello, GamesMaster.
Oh, I'm delighted to see you. Welcome to my kingdom.
I've heard that there's a hidden room on level 2 of Alex Kidd. I've been looking everywhere for it, but I just can't find it. Where should I be looking?
Alex Kidd in the Enchanted Castle was released in 1989 by Sega for the Mega Drive. Players jumped, punched, and rock-paper-scissored their way through garish worlds to rescue Alex's father, King Thor. Critics savaged the title for its floaty controls, terrible collision detection, and repetitive boss fights. Despite being the franchise's only 16-bit outing, the look and feel of the game was virtually copied and pasted from previous Master System games in the series. While it's often included in Mega Drive compilations, most Sega fans seem to have forgotten the game's existence, suggesting that maybe this kid should have been left at daycare.
Oh dear, we really are rather behind, aren't we? You will find the room just past the cage eagle. Simply jump up and down to break the rocks on the ground, and the hidden entrance to the room will reveal itself.
Thanks, bye.
Well, I'm always here to help you if I can. We have one more today, I think. I wonder who it is.
Hello, GamesMaster.
Aha! I recognise you from episode 3. Are you another lost child wandering this cyber hellscape, searching for the correct question that will grant you freedom? Did you refuse to pick a side in the great console war and have been exiled, cursed to wander this land of early 90s CGI, praying for the day when someone finally switches off the Amiga that generates this place so that you may finally find peace? Or is it more likely that you're actually able to read from a cue card with some semblance of articulation? I guess we'll never know.
I keep getting killed trying to get past the robot dinosaur at the end of Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters. Is there any advice you can give me?
Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters was released in 1989 by Atari Games to arcades, before being ported to the Amiga, Amstrad, Atari ST, Commodore 64, DOS, Sam Coupe, and ZX Spectrum. The game was a campy isometric shooter where players blasted through a robot-infested factory to rescue scientists. With a B-movie vibe, it combined run-and-gun chaos, destructible environments, and two-player co-op. The arcade version would prompt players to pay for more credits before tackling the final boss, which is possibly the first instance of a paywall-style mechanic in gaming. Somewhere, EA and Activision were taking notes. While it might be a barely remembered early run-and-gun staple, it's reminiscent of a time when a robot uprising was best sold with a joystick and a pocket full of 10p's.
Escape from the Planet of the Robot Monsters. Oh, yes. Rather a tricky one, this. You need to place your character against the grey door to the right of the screen. Then waggle your joystick left and right while continually dropping bombs. This will eventually result in you stepping through the gap in the doors and away from the troublesome beastie.
Great, thanks very much.
Oh, well, I'm starting to feel rather weary. Enough pearls of wisdom for 1 week, I think. But don't forget to keep the queries coming.
And that's all for tonight's show. I'm off for an Earl Grey. Keep snug and warm till next week. Good night.
And with that, episode 8 dives for the home plate and completes its home run. As we stride headlong towards the end of Series 1 and more games keep getting repeated, it surprises me how little we're seeing of some of the big games around this time. Like, we've only seen Mario and Sonic mentioned twice, and so far there's only been a single fighting game challenge. You'd think they'd be perfect for some head-to-head action. Anyway, let us know which games you're hoping to see in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe and give the notification bell a good old rub to be notified of our fortnightly visits. And as always, remember, don't be a dick.